With that upper level system finally beginning to exit the area, much better day on this Wednesday here in central and eastern Kentucky. A few clouds earlier and spotty showers, but a lot of the afternoon has been dry. We've warmed up nicely and that trend continues. We go well into the 80s for Thursday. Strong to severe storm threats still on the table, especially late on Friday. And good news for the weekend, just low-end shower chances. Shouldn't be a big deal, not looking at a washout at all. Viper radar right now not showing a whole lot going on. Everything is off to our east. The center of circulation has moved to the east of the Commonwealth. And a couple little pop-ups just to the west and north of Lexington early to mid-afternoon, along with some cloudiness. But things have improved nicely. You can see the spin back here across parts of western West Virginia, east of the center. That's where you have the organized storms and even a few strong storms, similar to what we had yesterday. A few showers, storms trying to go up along that warm front, which is set to arc through here a little bit later on this evening. Could produce a few isolated storms mid to late evening into the overnight. Checking out downtown Mount Sterling there in front of the courthouse in Montgomery County, 77. So that's pretty uniform across much of the area. Jackson County near McKee looking good at 77 as well. And with the expected sunshine and less in the way of rainfall, temperatures have really responded nicely. 77 here in Lexington, 79. Richmond down to Mount Vernon, 80 in Frankfort over to Bardstown. Same story in Monticello, 81 in Somerset. Our dew points, again, great measure of the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. Anything over 60, a little bit on the muggy side, so we'll continue to see that here over the next few days. Those mid-80s out to the west, those are headed our way getting into the day tomorrow. So the upper low moving out, area of low pressure, and there's the warm front, which is set to arc through. Now, a lot of the short-term higher resolution data this morning started to imply that we could see a few little isolated cells. Now, here's our futurecast, and it's already trying to pop a few storms, so it's not necessarily verifying at least at this hour, but you see these are few and far between. They're late evening during the overnight, and that's about it. Now, look at the warm front arc through, and then we head to the mid-80s tomorrow. All the action will be out here to the west, and whatever plays out Thursday night and into Friday morning could have an impact on what we're expected to be the main action as far as here in central and eastern Kentucky. And that's a squall line of storms coming through late on Friday into the early hours of Saturday. And then the front settles down to the south and we'll be in much better shape. Let's break it down, though. Severe threat tomorrow centered on the western Great Lakes and areas just to our west. That's going to be the more favored area. Damaging winds. An isolated large hail threat, level 1, the bluegrass eastward. And a lot of that has to do with the amount of storm energy, which there will be plenty of it as we get into the afternoon hours. But notice Futurecast doesn't really indicate very much. And it's all due to this cap or suppression of the thunderstorms. You get a warmer layer in the mid-levels, and that prevents the storms from going up. Now, some of the data indicating, yeah, the cap could break, and if that happens, then things would kind of pop up a little bit late tomorrow afternoon. Friday, a different story. Look at the severe threat. The level 3 is now in play for along I-71, Louisville, and down the river. We're a solid 2 here, and this is going to be later on Friday, I think, when that main action comes through. And again, the reason for that, we won't have that cap in place, so that air can rise easily and freely to get those thunderstorms going. And it looks like, just based on a lot of the data, all the ingredients in play for all modes of severe weather possibly into Friday night. So, of course, we'll be monitoring that. Those isolated storms possible late evening into the overnight, 63. So mild temperatures in the morning. Breezes pick up out of the south tomorrow at 10 to 15, partly sunny, 85 in the extended forecast here. We'll watch some additional storms, or at least the potential of those, late tomorrow night, and really Friday. That is the focus. Not overly concerned this weekend, just low end chances as mentioned. Another system toward the middle part of next week. But look at temperatures. Good news the weekend and heading into early next week with those afternoon highs consistently in the upper 70s.